Okay, if you go to RonPaul2012.com, you can get his statement on what happened to Rand Paul running into the little federal goons who work for the government, the criminal elements that staged 9/11. Ron Paul campaign statement concerning TSA abuses. The TSA gropes and grabs our children, our seniors, and our loved ones and neighbors with disabilities while doing nothing to keep us safe. Lake Jackson, Texas, the Ron Paul 2012 presidential campaign released the following statement concerning TSA abuses, like the ones that resulted in U.S. Senator Rand Paul being inconvenienced at the Nashville, Tennessee airport. Below, please find comments Representative Ron Paul. If you want full quotes, media, we've got the Ron Paul interview on the TSA where he talked about how he's been groped at Infowars.com. The police state in this country is growing out of control. One of the ultimate embodiments of this is the TSA that gropes and grabs our children, our seniors, and our loved ones and neighbors with disabilities. The TSA does all this while doing nothing to keep us safe. This is why my plan to restore America, in addition to cutting $1 trillion in federal spending in the year, eliminates the TSA. We must restore the freedom and respect for liberty that once made America the greatest nation in human history. I am deeply committed to doing that as President of the United States. And this TSA is the big deal, because if they can get away with this and violating the Fourth Amendment and sell it on the back of the idea that we've got to protect you from any danger, whether it be champagne corks that kill over 100 people a year, look it up, World Almanac, or honeybees that kill several hundred a year, or deer that kill several hundred a year, not just running out in front of your car, but sometimes deer actually kill people with their antlers a couple times a year, or on and on and on. There's thousands of things more dangerous than terrorism, and most of the terrorism is provocateur or flat out staged. But since when did land of the free, home of the brave say the terrorists are so scary because they have beards and turbans on their heads that we're going to overthrow the entire Bill of Rights and Constitution and say you can't travel unless the TSA says so? There's no more due process. We're just going to do this. This is the type of bull that makes my blood boil. And, of course, they're saying that they didn't detain him. All they ever do is lie about groping kids. They're always saying, I had people on the street come up to me and go, Alex, the TSA has stopped groping children. They've made the announcement. And I get emails like that. And I'm like, they've made that announcement over and over again. They keep doing it. Just like they said, don't worry, Obama's going to veto the NDAA. And I said, no, he's not. He's going to sign it. How do I know? I know their playbook. He said he would veto it so you wouldn't politically make an issue out of it. Now Ron Paul has introduced legislation to repeal it. The sections that end posse comitatus and put troops on the streets, that allow them to black bag anybody they want and have you disappear forever, that allow worldwide war without Congress. I mean, this happens in every other country. A bunch of crooks get in and run wild and commit a bunch of crimes. That's always the first phase. Then they get scared that the people are waking up, so they try to bring in a total tyranny. And if it looks like they're about to get arrested, they'll start a big war to try to get everybody to rally around them and do what they're told. Now, I'm going to open the phones up a little bit before Baron von Nothaus joins us, the head of the Liberty Dollar, illustrating the police state. He'd been in coining silver and gold commemorative coins for more than 3 decades. I remember watching his Royal Hawaiian Mint ads when I was a teenager. You know, 14 years old, laying around watching television on the weekend and thinking, boy, those Royal Hawaiian coins look neat. He was the owner of that. And for, I don't know, 14 years, he issues the Liberty Dollar, silver, gold, and copper coins. And his whole thing is about the Federal Reserve being a fraud, and we should all get into gold and silver. Totally legal, totally lawful. But what's wild is, in fact, guys, I forgot to tell you to print this for me. Just type in Justice Department statement on Liberty Dollar conviction. So I want to read that. It's on the FBI website. Justice Department statement on Liberty Dollar. And it's on the FBI website. And they say these people are terrorists. Those that try to use alternate currencies are enemies. And we will infiltrate, frustrate, and destroy them and all this. I mean, it's like they're talking about real criminals or something like themselves. And they've got these kept federal juries that are total frauds and convict 98% of those that go before them. Just total kangaroo, many cases paid off, criminal, hardcore criminals, no justice at the federal level, just sickening grand juries that work for narcotics trafficking murderers. I mean, that's basically what the government is. I mean, the troops publicly grow the opium now and tell you on the news, and people are like, well, that's patriotic. They can't even hide it anymore. So what do? Well, just put it on BBC and Fox and CNN and ABC Nightly News that the troops grow the opium. And it's loaded on C-130s, but they don't talk about that. Again, I'm living in a total twilight zone. And he's facing sentencing next month, and he's calling for people's help, so we're going to have him pop in for about 20, 30 minutes, then I'll continue with your calls. But